So this video is on algebraic division, which works the same as long division, but this time we work with x's. Okay, so here I've written down the steps. So first we need to divide, then we multiply back, then we change the sign, then we add, and then we start again. So what does it look like with this equation now? So we have x cubed plus 2x squared minus 7x minus 2, and we want to divide it by x minus 2. Okay, so our first step is divide. So what we are dividing is the x cubed, which is the same as x, and we want to divide it by x. So we can cancel this x and this x. So what we are left with is x squared. Okay, so this x squared is what I write on top here. So our next step is multiply back. So what I multiply now is this and this. So I go x squared times x is x cubed, so it's the same thing again. And then I go x squared times minus 2, which gives me minus 2x squared. Okay, so our next step is change the sign. So what does that mean? So here for the x cubed, if it's nothing there, it's like a plus, so I change it to a minus. Here I have a minus here, and I change that to a plus. Then our next step is change the sign. Is add. So x cubed minus x cubed, this is gone, yeah, so it's 0, yeah, so this is gone. Then 2x squared plus 2x squared is now 4x squared. And now I start again. So what I have to do in order to start again is bring the next one down. So I write that down here, and now I divide again. So now I have 4x squared, and I divide it again by the x. So 4x squared is the same as 4x, and I divide it by x. So I can cancel this, and what I'm left with is 4x. So I write this 4x now on top here. So 4x squared divided by x is 4x. So next step, multiply back. 4x times x is 4x squared. So again, that's the same thing here. 4x times minus 2 is minus 8x. So what I do now is I change the sign. So this becomes a minus, and the minus here becomes a plus. Then I add 4x squared minus 4x squared is gone. And now I have minus 7x plus 8x. So that just leaves me with x. 1x, yeah, or x. Okay, and then I start again. In order to start again, I need to bring the next one down. And I go, so x minus 2. And I start again. And now I divide x with x, and that if I cancel both, I am left with 1. So that's what I write here now. So x divided by x plus 1. Okay, 1 times x is x, and 1 times minus 2 is minus 2. So I now change the sign again. So this becomes a minus, and this becomes a plus. And if I add that, I just end up with 0. And with a remainder of 0, I know I'm done now. And my solution is whatever is written up here. I want to quickly go through another example. Okay, so what if we were told to divide 36x cubed minus 28x plus 8, and we were told to divide this by 3x minus 2. So if we look at this equation, we can see there's something missing. So we have an x cubed and we have an x, but what we are missing is an x squared. But we need all the powers there in order to complete the equation. So we're going to have to add it as in 0x squared. So let me rewrite this. Okay, so our equation again is now 36, so let me change the color. 36 x cubed plus 0 x squared minus 28 x plus 8, and we are supposed to divide this by 3 x minus 2. Okay, so our steps again were divide, multiply back, change sign, add, and start again. So let's do that here. Okay, 36x cubed divided by 3x leaves us with 12x squared. So we multiply this back. 12x squared times 3x gives me 36x cubed, and 12x squared times minus 2 is minus 24x squared. And here we see why we need to add the power in, as even though it is 0x squared. So otherwise we wouldn't be able to do this step. It wouldn't line up, the x squares and then the x. Okay, so we change the sign. This becomes a minus, this becomes a plus. So then 36x cubed minus 36x cubed is gone. Now 0x squared plus 24x squared leaves me with 24x squared. I bring the next one down, which is minus 28x, and then I start again. So 24x squared divided by 3x gives me 8x. Multiply backwards, 8x times 3x is 24x squared. 8x times minus 2 is minus 16x. Change the sign, minus, this becomes a plus. So now 24x squared minus 24x squared, this is gone. Minus 28x plus 16x gives me minus 12x. Then I bring the next one down, plus 8. So, and then I start again. Minus 12x divided by 3x gives me minus 4. Multiply back, minus 4 times 3x is minus 12x. Minus 4 times minus 2 is plus 8. Change the sign, this becomes a plus, this becomes a minus, and then minus 12x plus 12x is 0, and 8 minus 8 is also 0, and that means we are done, and this up here is the solution.